welcome to this week's The Story of a Poor Boy. I'm Mikey.
I'm Matt.
And this week we will be talking about Liverpool's... I don't even know what word to use to describe it, to be honest. Victory over
Liverpool's
Tottenham.
winning the league. There you go. I've said it. I've got it out of the way. That's it now.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
We can't not after that.
There's going to be a lot of that this episode. It's not going to be...
Mainly from me.
It's not going to make for good listening come May 13th if we haven't won the fucking title, but there you go.
We'll delete it.
Yeah, it's fine. This won't ever happen again. So what we're going to be talking about then is we're just going to talk about the Tottenham game, where it leaves the table, how much we're under everybody's skin. It's just a great time to be a Liverpool fan, really.
Yeah.
So, Liverpool versus Tottenham. 4:30 kick-off on Sunday, which is nice compared to the 12 o'clock kick-off that we had recently against, was it Burnley?
Yeah.
Yeah, Burnley, 12 o'clock kick-off. Yeah.
As kick-offs go, it's only the third worst.
I don't mind. For Sunday, the only issue is you've got to
games.
You've got to get off for work the next morning.
Exactly. I hate Sunday.
Yeah. Can't have a bevy.
I want them on. Bevy. It's God's day. I want to be in bed.
Don't start me on that. Right. So, excuse me. Jamie smoked the house out before, so I'm gonna die for the rest of this. So starting lineup: Alisson, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Virgil van Dijk, Andy Robertson. Midfield three of Gini Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson, James Milner, and
Cue the fume,
and a strike force of Salah, Firmino, and Mane. Tottenham go with Hugo Lloris in goal, then a back three of Sanchez, Vertonghen, and Alderweireld. Kieran Trippier and Danny Rose playing wing back with Moussa Sissoko, Dele Alli, Christian Eriksen, all playing in midfield with Kane and Lucas Moura up front. So, initial lineup thoughts. I mean, me and you were both sat here and we both said we're disappointed to not see Fabinho.
Yeah. Obviously, I want to see Fabinho. I do think he is our best midfielder, but Klopp started away at Bayern with that midfield. He's obviously got a plan for that midfield. We've discussed how our creativity comes from the fullbacks rather than that three-man midfield. So I was largely fine with it. I know you particularly weren't.
I mean, you say I wasn't. I did say to you before the match I didn't have a problem with it because it was at home.
Yeah, there is that actually.
I did say I don't mind it at home. It's away from home. I don't think it's smart because it's a midfield designed to work, but the idea of that midfield press is that you win the ball back quickly, and away from home I don't think that works as well for us, because teams are expected to play a bit more with a bit more expression and a bit more, we're at home, we're expected to do something here, whereas at Anfield they're sat back deep. So us pressing high, winning the ball back high up the pitch, means that midfield makes sense. Whereas when we're away from home, somebody who breaks up play in between the lines, like Fabinho, does make sense. And in games against top quality opposition like Tottenham, like Man City, I do think Fabinho is the best option. And I understand why he's gone with that midfield, because it is the industry in it, and he wants to win the ball back high and put Tottenham under pressure. You've only got to look at the game from last season to see what happens when you put Tottenham under too much pressure. Salah gets his first goal because Davinson Sanchez tries to play a back pass and blind or something like that. Or someone plays it to him or something like that and messes it up. But from that, Mo Salah gets a clear chance, and it's literally just because of the pressure we put them under. So, for that aspect, I understood why he was going for it, but it doesn't mean I wasn't. It doesn't mean I was best pleased to see our best midfielder sat on the bench.
No, that is true. I think we are at the point now where I just want to see him every game. I want to see him start every game because he is our best midfielder. And I know I'm jumping the gun a bit, but when he comes on with 20 minutes to go, you can definitely tell that he's on the pitch, we're so much better for it.
What's it?
Like,
I mean,
this isn't a complaint against that midfield three that started, because I think for the majority of the first half, they did their job really, really well. It went away from us a bit in the last 10 minutes, and then the second half, Spurs changed shape, and we just didn't change enough tactically in the game to match that.
I think this is Jurgen Klopp's worst game this season as a manager. Yeah. I think he doesn't manage this game well at all. In terms of Tottenham actively work out what we're doing and look to move against that, and Klopp does nothing. And alright, you see him talking to Henderson, you see him talking to Trent, and he's clearly saying something needs to be done, but it's a change in personnel that we needed. Tottenham bring on Son, and straight away there, he's one of, me and you have both said before, he's the Tottenham player we'd have at Liverpool, 100%. And he's not started this game. So when they bring him on, straight away my thinking would be, well, we need something here. And you can quite clearly see they're having so much joy in front of our defence, but behind our midfield. Jordan Henderson's probably had his worst game of the season there as well. It needed every change. Well, I say every change. The Fabinho change needed to happen before the 77th minute when it does happen. Yeah, and it's not great from Klopp. Even then, when Tottenham score, Fabinho's stripped and ready to come on. So he has obviously seen it, but it's come too late. It really has come too late. And because Tottenham score, he then has a little rethink and he leaves Fabinho on the bench for another 7 minutes or something like that, I think it is, between the goal and the actual change. But I don't like having a go at the manager for it, but
especially after a win.
Exactly. It does feel soft, but we are. We can't rely on moments like that.
No, it's fine margins at this point.
Exactly, it's fine margins at this point. But as I've said already this week, it's not about performance as much as it is the result at this end of the season. No one cares how you play as long as you get the results at the end of the game. So straight from the off, I think Liverpool played pretty well for the first 25-30 minutes, as you said earlier, until Tottenham kind of figure us out. Yeah. We look dangerous. We look capable of threading play together. It's still a bit sloppy, and there's still a couple of slips here and there.
A little bit, but we did get behind their lines. We did trouble their keeper. They really didn't do anything for the first 35 minutes. We definitely looked the more dangerous. We looked the more intimidating with the ball. I wasn't panicked when Spurs had the ball at all, really.
I think we looked the more capable. Definitely. We looked the more likely to do something, and our big players turned up a lot earlier than theirs did. And we go ahead through Andy Robertson putting it straight on the head of Roberto Firmino.
Such a good cross.
May as well give it to Andy Robertson, to be fair, because that is a fucking joke.
Bobby would have done well to miss that, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. When I was writing my match review, I was like, "It's a great header from Bobby," and then I thought about it, and I was like, "It's not." Literally, if he misses that, then he shouldn't really be playing. Do you know what I mean? He shouldn't be playing up front. It's so perfect onto his head, and it leaves Lloris with no chance. Speaking of which, Lloris had no chance all fucking game. It was absolutely awful.
His kicking's rubbish. He's
directly responsible for the first goal.
Yeah, 100%.
He kicks the ball. He looks to kick the ball long, and straight away
comes up short.
Yeah, it comes to Gini Wijnaldum, gives it to Henderson, who rather fortuitously finds Andy Robertson, who then whips it in, and we score from that. So, I mean, you can directly link that back to Lloris. It's interesting, something I said to you during the match as well, that you notice Liverpool, our strikers automatically just press Spurs right to the edge of their box and make Lloris go straight to look for that long kick straight away. It's like Liverpool identified a weakness in there. And we do it from corners as well, do you know what I mean? We crowd the goalkeeper. So we've clearly noticed that he's not a good goalkeeper. John Achterberg's quite clearly turned around and went, "Listen, he's shit. Just get at him and he's crap and he'll bottle it."
He's Simon Mignolet with a beard.
I think that's harsh on Mignolet, to be honest.
Fuck off.
No, I mean, he is a decent goalkeeper, but I think he's been supported by one of the best defences in Premier League. That's flying under the... Well, I say flying under the radar. Everyone knows there's 3 top quality centre-halves. But I honestly to God think you could lump any Premier League quality goalkeeper in there and they have a similar defensive record. I don't see much that he adds at all.
Probably, yeah. There's some saves that he makes that he shouldn't. But the majority of the time his decision-making is just bad. His distribution's bad.
He's no better than Kasper Schmeichel. He's no better than Lucas Fabianski, and he's definitely not better than Jordan Pickford as well, who's we've taken the piss out of lots on here, and I don't particularly rate, but I'd rather have him in goal than Lloris. Having said that, Liverpool had taken their chance at this point, 1-0 up. We really looked to force the issue after this as well. We looked for a second. Yeah, and we come close a couple of times. Mane nearly twice finds the far corner, doesn't he? Yeah. Trying to whip it into the far corner.
Salah has a couple of goes as well, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, a couple of goes. Yeah. I mean,
talk about this first half.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, just in first half, and then Tottenham just come back into it, and Tottenham kind of forced onto the back foot, and we kind of invite that pressure onto us as well. We are not great from about 35 onwards.
It comes to the point where we're desperate for half time, just to regroup, and then that completely backfires because Spurs change their shape and come at us even more, and we don't change in the second half.
Yeah.
Until too late, until after they score.
No, definitely.
We were definitely on the back foot for the majority of the second half.
No, definitely. What do you make of Alisson's performance in this game? Because
I think it's the worst I've seen him. His distribution was off. Some of his decision making was off. He parries the ball out, which is something that I always have a go at Pickford for doing. Straight into the path of Eriksen. Yeah. And it's only a good block from, I think it's Wijnaldum.
It's Robertson.
Yeah. Couldn't get more different.
I don't know. I don't see colour.
Yeah, it's only a good block from Robertson, but it means that's not a dead cert for a goal.
Yeah, I would.
But that's something that I've blasted goalkeepers in the past for doing, and to see Alisson doing it is a little bit disappointing.
See, the thing is, I can kind of forgive that because, I mean, I do understand, and if Liverpool score from that, you're baying for blood, and if Karius had done that, then
that's exactly my thinking.
Yeah.
If Mignolet or Karius did that, we'd still be talking about it.
And we should hold him to the same standard that we hold those. Well, we obviously hold them to a higher standard, but any mistakes he made, we can't just sit there and just go, well, that's nothing. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we probably should do that with the other two, to be fair. But I guess he's kind of earned a bit of trust, and
he's definitely earned a bit of trust. He's got the most clean sheets in the league.
He's gorgeous.
He's gorgeous.
He's our record fee for a goalkeeper as well, of course. Second highest fee ever.
He's loads better than Kepa.
He's loads better than Kepa. He was the most expensive goalkeeper in the world for about 2 hours or something like that before Chelsea shit themselves.
Yeah.
But the thing that really upsets me in this game about Alisson's performance isn't that it's his distribution. His distribution's all over the place.
Yeah, and earlier in the season, it was so good.
Yeah.
But I think that might be down to the fact that Spurs were really quite good when they came to us.
They're probably the best team at Anfield this season.
I would say so, yes. Maybe City in a 0-0 draw as well.
Yeah, I can see that. But the thing is with
City set up to not lose.
Exactly.
Spurs tried to win.
Spurs came and played Spurs game.
Yeah.
Whereas City paid us the massive compliment of changing how they play football.
Yeah.
And whilst City get at the end of the day, City come away with a point, Tottenham don't. And as it stands, well, if City beat Cardiff this week, let's be honest, they're probably going to, then it will be a point that takes the top of the Premier League. So, we can't really have a go with them for doing anything like that. But at the same time, Spurs turned up and just went, right, okay, well, we'll play our game and we'll see where it takes us.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work for them for a good portion of the first half. And then it starts clicking into gear and certain players get more involved. And I think Son coming on helps them massively as well. Mm-hmm. But it is the press up the pitch that forces Alisson into making quick passes.
It's exactly what we were doing to Lloris. They were doing to Alisson. I don't know if they identified that as a weakness, like we probably did with Lloris, but Alisson usually has really good distribution. Just an off day, coupled with the fact that Spurs didn't really give us much space at all.
The one that shit me up as well, to be fair, was when the ball's coming through the middle and Alisson nearly clatters Milner.
Yes.
As well, and leaves the ball behind, and it's a lucky bounce, and Alisson can just pick it up. But it was definitely his most nervy performance for Liverpool. And he's not a bad goalkeeper. Like me and you can sit here and say Lloris is, because we've got fucking volumes of records for it. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, Hugo Lloris made a massive mistake in a World Cup final, but no one notices because of the ultimate result. Do you know what I mean? No one's asked about individual mistakes, and it's what we've said about Alisson this season as well. To be fair, you don't care about mistakes too much as long as you're the winning team.
Yeah.
And whilst Alisson has made a couple of mistakes, not even nearly what Lloris has done this season. And also, Lloris has been here since 2012. Alisson's still in his first season, bedding in with new players and stuff like that. He's entitled to have a couple of mistakes in him. There's such a gulfing class between the two of them. It wasn't clearly evidenced on Sunday, but there is definitely a gulfing class there. Yeah, so, speaking of golfing class, Tottenham's performances, both first and second half, as we've already said, massive difference between the two. Son comes on in the 69th minute, and then a minute later, Lucas Moura scores.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Son's involved in this, because it does come through a fucking ridiculous piece of defending from Jordan Henderson.
It does. It is a stupid foul to give away. He was just off all game.
His passing wasn't there either, and that's one thing you can normally rely on with him.
He started doing his trademark long diagonal pass more in the second half, but it just, I don't know, he just wasn't clicking. I don't know if he needed Fabinho behind him and he could push up a bit further, or I don't know. I've lost my train of thought because I feel like the house is getting burned down.
No, it's the alarm. It needs a new battery in it. In the fob. What were we saying? Oh yeah, I see. This is what I mean when I say I didn't have a problem with Jordan Henderson starting, but I wanted to see Fabinho with him, because I do think when he's got that added responsibility on him, like, you don't always get the best out of him in defensive mid, and especially against a team who are pressing as much as Tottenham were. But even then, it's just a silly foul to give away. And Harry Kane takes full advantage of it. I mean, the ball's moving when he hits it.
Yeah.
But,
it's one of them, innit?
If you ignore that, it's a fucking great bit of play from Tottenham to get in.
It really, really is. I don't think we can't say that we did too much wrong there other than giving away the foul. They just took a really good quick free kick.
I do think on second view, and I said in my ratings, I don't think the goal's Alexander-Arnold's fault at all. But when you watch it back, he does let Lucas Moura run off him, and he's not quick enough to react when the long ball goes over the top. Lucas Moura straight in, because he's expecting the ball back across from Trippier, whereas Alexander-Arnold's he almost looks as if he expects Robertson to deal with it.
Yeah.
And if he's 5 yards further back, Lucas Moura's got a more difficult time of putting the ball in the back of the net. It's also Alisson very nearly saves that as well. No one's really mentioned that, but he's not far away from that at all.
Not at all.
But yeah, I mean, I do agree. I don't think anyone on that side of the pitch can do anything. I do think it's sloppy from a 20-year-old right back, so I'll let him off. Do you know what I mean? Because he ultimately provides a sort of assist for the winning goal.
Yep.
it should be mentioned before that around the 80th minute, my head had fully gone the second Tottenham scored.
100%.
My head had fully gone by the time Tottenham scored. I was just fucking wanting the ground to just swallow me up whole.
He turned to me and said, all eggs in the Champions League basket then.
Yeah, I did say at the time that if we had drawn that game or even lost it, then that would have been it as far as the league was concerned for me. And I do think you agree that with me at one point there. I mean, you did say at one point, and it was all eggs in the Champions League basket. So you can sit there and say it was just me, but you did agree with me.
Yeah, eggs in the Champions League basket. But you know me. I never completely gave up on it.
Yeah,
like, I mean, we keep saying Spurs are going to drop, City are going to drop points. Like we're not going to win every game. We're not going to win every game. But neither are City. We just need to see what's
we might
what.
do.
We might do, but I don't know.
We've got Chelsea. We're skipping over a bit here, but we've got Chelsea as our last remaining properly close to our level game,
and they're shite.
And they haven't been great. I mean, their performance on the weekend against Cardiff was absolutely abysmal until the referee stepped in. So we might well get surprised by some of the lesser teams in the division. No disrespect meant to any of them, but I mean, you look at them now. I mean, Newcastle are basically safe. Huddersfield are already down. Couldn't tell you. I mean, we've got Southampton this Friday,
and then Wolves and Cardiff,
and then Wolves and Cardiff in there as well,
and Burnley.
No, it's not. It's Bright. Is it Burnley?
I think it's Burnley.
No, we've played Burnley twice, haven't we?
I don't know.
Yeah, we've played Burnley. Yeah, we've played Burnley twice. The Allison save in the last minute then we counted.
Yes.
And then the Sunday 12 o'clock kickoff I was mentioning earlier. It's Brighton, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Brighton now.
Yeah,
I've said it.
That's fair.
But I think Chelsea's the last one you'd expect us to have proper difficulty in.
Yeah.
And it's not beyond the realms. Liverpool could win every game left in the Premier League this season. But we're getting ahead there. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
so, 77th minute, on comes Fabinho. Liverpool also bring on Divock Origi. Now, you might well sit there and fume. Not fume, that's me. You might sit there and laugh, but I actually like the left wing change. I do think he's like direct running.
I think that we needed that change up front. I think
I like the way Divock's right footed, but he always takes them on the outside. He's not scared to just go on the outside because
he knows he can try and do them for pace.
Yes, exactly, and he gets 2 corners out of it. He has Trippier both times, and we actually score from one of the corners that Origi has earned us. It is a good change to make, and it is different as well from the classic, Shaqiri change. But around the 80th minute, Liverpool get a free kick about fucking 30 yards out.
In Trent Alexander-Arnold territory.
It literally could have... If he'd have pinpointed where he wanted that football, he'd have put it there. And I had just expected them to waltz over and just whip it into the top corner, and it should be the best day of my life ever. And Divock Origi picks the ball up, and I'm like, all right, he's getting the ball and he's giving it to Trent. Or he's giving it to Virgil at the very least. And then he puts it down. And then he takes the steps back and he's lining it up, and I'm literally in the main stand, just absolutely just fucking mouth wide open, catching flies, staring round.
And he's screaming at me. He's going, what the fuck? Why Origi? And he's just like shouting why at me about 10 times in a row. I have to go. It's like, I don't know.
The fella next to you was laughing his head off at me. But it was like... It is exact. Do you know what it was? Genuinely? It was the Aspas taking the corner against Chelsea moment. Do you know what I mean? No way. You're just like,
why?
Never seen you taking a corner. Oh, you give it straight to Willian.
That's why.
Yeah, exactly. It was that moment, and it was like, what the fucking hell's happening? Life's a parody, nothing makes sense anymore. And then he nearly fucking scores from a deflection as well. But, I still can't get over it. I'm going to fucking wake up in a cold sweat one day and... I'll say one day. Regularly, from now on. From now on. That will be my recurring nightmare. just Divock Origi standing over a set piece from 30 yards out. He operates inside the box. That's his zone.
It's such a weird one, though, isn't it?
It is. Like, if he'd have fucking flashed that into the top corner, I'd have looked like such a tit.
You would have.
I would have, but I'd have taken that. I wouldn't have given a flying foot. I'd have been in the club shop getting a Origi 27 on the back of a shirt, fucking straight after it. I'm not even asked. But, I mean, I didn't have to. In and around a similar time on this, I mean, we have to mention it because everybody and their mother are mentioning it. Virgil van Dijk is the best defender in the world.
Oh, easy. He is.
So we give the ball away cheaply, if I remember rightly.
Yep.
I can't remember who it is now.
Can't remember. He was very high up the pitch, and then it's a long ball up to Kane, who just not Kane. Sorry, Son, who just flicks it on to
Musa Sissoko. And there's a 2v1 situation.
Yeah.
The only thing is, in most 2v1s, it's weighted heavily in the attacking favour. Mm-hmm. In this case, it was weighted very heavily in Liverpool's favour because the defender was the best defender I've ever seen with my own eyeballs. And, I mean, we can rant and rave about it, but what it boils down to is it is just smart defensive position.
It's just choosing the lesser of two evils. He doesn't give any space on his right at all. He shows Sissoko his left and dares him to shoot. That's what he does.
Basically, and the Opta stats guys have calculated like the probability of a goal from there, and it was like 0.2 expected goals or something like that from that situation because of what Van Dijk does. Whereas if Sissoko gets the pass across, then it becomes like 0.8 or something like that. You expect Son to score. But
it's a properly brilliant piece of defending.
It is, and it is. It also banks. It's Virgil van Dijk banking on the keeper behind him as well, because at the end of the day, most professional footballers you would expect to hit the target from there at the very least, but instead Van Dijk just keeps him on his left side. It keeps him on his left side, forces the shot, and he balloons it. Very similar to Mahrez's penalty, probably landed in a similar place. I think an explanation as to why everyone's so happy about this piece of defending is because whilst we've had Virgil van Dijk now for 16 months? No, not even that. 14 months. 14 months.
Yeah.
We're still not used to having a defender this good since probably Carragher's prime, and even then Van Dijk's better than Carragher was. Yeah, and I'll say that now because definitely I love Carragher. I think Carragher would have done something very similar in that situation. Because he was an intelligent defender and he read the game well. Mm-hmm. But in terms of overall game, Virgil van Dijk is probably the best defender I've ever seen play for Liverpool. Probably the best defender I've ever seen, to be honest. But you're not allowed to say that because he's not won a trophy at Liverpool yet. Whatever. But we've had to see Dejan Lovren and Joel Matip and Martin Skrtel all in similar situations to that, and Mamadou Sakho as well, to name but a fucking few of the gimps that just wouldn't have handled that situation with any kind of grace at all. Do you know what I mean? There's no way that they jockey Sissoko for that long, because Van Dijk lets him into the area.
One of them would lunge in.
Yeah, exactly.
Lovren would give away... No, Skrtel would give away a pen.
Skrtel would take his head off. Skrtel would come in about chest height and whip his head straight off his shoulders.
Lovren would lunge in and miss.
Matip would fall
over. Kolo Touré would, I don't know, boot his knee off.
He'd fuck it up, but you'd forgive him because he had a little cheeky grin.
Yeah, he had a lovely smile. Smile.
Sakho would probably deal with the situation, but he just looks so uncomfortable. But it is just lovely to just have a defender that you just can completely trust it. Like, I shit myself in that situation because I looked up straight away and went, shit, that's Matip, and then I realised it wasn't. It was the man. It was Virgil van Dijk.
The man, the myth, the legend.
It was the one fella in world football you'd want in that situation.
Yeah.
And he dealt with it beautifully. And as a result, in the 91st minute? It is just the 90th minute. Liverpool get a corner aimed by Divock Origi. It comes back out to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who whips it far post for Mohamed Salah. Now, Does Salah choose the right option in your mind? In your mind, right? Take away 90th minute. Take away anything. If you're in that situation, do you think that you would do what Salah does and try to put it in from there? Bearing in mind that it's a floated cross, you have to generate all the power on the header.
Yeah.
You are stretching for it, so it's a diving header as well. And Sadio Mane still the cross goal.
I mean, he is a striker. Like, maybe the safer bet would be to place it for Mane, but we don't know if that would have been easier for him to do physically, or if it was even possible. I don't know. I think the better decision probably would be to Mane, but the ball went in, so I don't give a fuck.
No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's probably the correct answer, to be honest. Because at the end of the day, it just goes to show that the frustrations I had with him all game, and I do rate this as probably Salah's worst performance of the season up until about the 90th minute.
Yeah.
Pure at Anfield anyway. You know, he was abysmal away at United. But,
yeah, but like everyone was.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. But at Anfield, this is probably his worst performance up until the 90th minute because literally everything's about Salah for most of this game.
Yeah, he does shoot an awful lot when he should pass. But I understand the selfishness part that you were talking about, not last week, the week before. It is frustrating to see him get into decent positions and fluff it, or get into not so decent positions and try it anyway, try and force it when it doesn't need forcing, it just needs a bit more patience.
Yeah, that's it. That is exactly it, because you can basically pinpoint exactly what Mohamed Salah's going to do by whether or not his head goes up in the first second of control on a football. So if his head goes up and he looks around and he spots one of the other lads, he'll pick the pass out. But otherwise, he'll get his head down straight away and that's it. And he will have a shot. And if I can notice that at the back of the main stand, Toby Alderweireld can notice it and Jan Vertonghen can notice it stood next to him.
But it is a difficult one, though. Like, we're all getting frustrated at him for just constantly trying to force it all game. And we get the winner through him trying to force it.
Yeah, and that was exactly the point why I asked you the question in the first place, is because the argument, I've been playing it over and over in my head because it did frustrate me, but you know, it was what I was saying to you the other week about long shots. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it does just pay off. You know, we get one, is it against Palace? When Van Dijk tries a shot from miles out, it gets a deflection, just falls to Salah and he taps it in.
Yeah.
And it's that opportunism that literally leads to this goal. I mean, it's opportunism and the most overrated goalkeeper in the Premier, in world football, actually. Toby Alderweireld going to kick the ball and then deciding not to. I think he thinks if he kicks it, he's going to hit it against Lloris.
Yeah.
I think that's what happens there, and then he goes, oh shit, it's going to go in anyway. But completely fucks it up.
It does lead to one of the best pictures that I've seen taken at Anfield.
Oh,
through the net of Lloris's face just going, shit.
Yeah.
As the ball's just crawling away from him.
Led to me crying in the main stand. Led to me absolutely convinced we will win the league again.
Me too. I remember hugging you and screaming it into your chest for winning the league, and I'm still like that. I'm going to scream it into your chest in a bit.
It's everything. It's literally everything. I mean, there is a point, and you know, I don't particularly believe in any kind of religion or anything like that, but there is a point where you have to kind of believe in fate a little bit, do you know what I mean? And there's only so many times Liverpool can fucking do something like this before you have to just give us the fucking trophy. Because so many times I've seen Liverpool draw that game.
Yeah.
So many times. Yeah. Last season I saw Liverpool draw that fucking game. We scored in the last minute and then we conceded in the last minute. But this time we didn't. We bring on Degsy Lovren, and he's the best defender in the world. So he deals with the situation. He doesn't even kick the ball, I don't think, but he's there. He's on the field, and that's enough for Liverpool to see a 2-1 win out. And, you know, you look at the Origi goal against Everton, and we always talk about it, but we look at the Origi goal against Everton, and we love it, because it's dead funny. We look at the two... It
is dead funny.
We look at the two Shaqiri goals. Yeah, you know, the against Man United, the 2 deflected Shaqiri goals. How often do Man United get beaten by deflected fucking goals, eh? Deflected goals. Literally, the only reason I've not decided it's fully 100% nailed on, and I'm 95% certain it is now, is because John Stones clears that ball off the line against us. If that goes in, like, if Stones had cleared that and it had hit Salah and gone in, I would 100% believe that this title race was done and dusted. I wouldn't even be asked. Even if we were in the same position somehow and we'd like lost the game since and City had gained the points back and we were in the exact same position, I would still think now that it was nailed on, because that would have been insane. As it happens, we've had to deal with fucking 3 miracles instead of the fucking 4. But when things like this happen, and I've seen Man United score goals like that for years, and I've seen Chelsea do it as well. Arsenal not particularly, because they won the league through great football. They didn't really need it. But I mean, you look at the fucking goal that City win the league with against QPR, the Aguero goal. It's a lovely goal, but it's bobbling around like a bastard all over the gaff, and then Balotelli slips Aguero through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's bits of luck where the ball breaks your way.
The harder your team works, the more luck you get, and I think now there is something to that though. Like, obviously there's quality as well, and luck is luck, but I think all of these last-minute winners, all of these deflected goals going in, I think it is testament to how this team will just not give up. Mm-hmm. Like, the fact that we were still... Like, we threw the kitchen sink at it. We were playing 4-2-4 with... Well, no, pretty much 2-2-6 with the fullbacks flying.
I wouldn't even say 2. I think Matip. Well, you see from the because he's weird. Cause you see from the chance that they get the Sissoko and Son chance where Van Dijk's on his own. Yeah. So I wouldn't even say we're playing 2 at the back. Yeah, we are literally just going Virgil sort this.
But like that is how United used to do it. Like, when games weren't going their way, they would throw the absolute kitchen sink at it until a winner came. And we did that against Spurs, and we've been doing that against fucking everyone.
Well, except for Everton and Man United, when we were told it was daft to try and lash everything at it. Jurgen Klopp knows something we don't, you know what I'm telling you. Fucking knows something.
You make your own luck, and we've been making our own luck. Like, rival fans can deride us and say, well, we had all these offside goals and all these deflected goals and all these Salah diving goals and all that bollocks, but like, this team is not giving up. Our heads went. Your head really went. I will admit my head went a bit.
I was nearly in pieces, mate. I nearly give it up.
All of the main stand, it turned a little bit vicious. It didn't turn as bad as it has before. But the main stand, like, it was a bit... Didn't like it.
I'm just thinking of the fella behind us, the Cockney fella who shouted...
Fuck. No, what are the fucking physics?
Yeah, what are the fucking physics? Oh, fucking hell. That was incredible.
But like, when Alisson took a while to kick the ball, it got a bit Mignolet-y, and I didn't like that. But
everyone wanted so much.
Our heads went. The players didn't. They know what's at stake. They know how big this is, and their heads aren't going.
It's interesting you should say our heads went, because Jurgen Klopp comes out after the game and he literally says that it's the best reaction to going level.
Yeah, it was all right after we went level. Yeah. I think like 10 minutes after that it got a bit weird, and then we brought it back a little bit.
Yeah, I could probably agree with that, because I think we all kind of saw we were going in the right direction. It was
just that 10 minutes after it was just...
If it stayed aimless and it had stayed with the same team, and it was like, you know, this will still work, then people would have turned quicker.
Yeah.
But because he literally, Fabinho and Origi do come on, alright, 7 minutes later after the Tottenham goal, but they do come on.
Yeah.
Liverpool do change it up, and the second we change it up, it's straight away you can notice the difference. It's quite an obvious change up, and Fabinho winning the ball back constantly in midfield and then looking to play a simple ball out because he's a fucking world-class footballer. Yeah, he does change that game. He completely changes that game for my money. like world class footballers have the ability to do. And if that means if that break means that he plays every minute for the rest of the season, then fine, because we've won the game now. It wasn't fine before the game, but beauty of hindsight, I guess, isn't it? But
tis 2020.
I said to you before the game, as we were going in, do you remember when I said to you, it'll be interesting to see what happens if we're level about 80 minutes. Do you remember I actually did say that? Like, I'm not actually lying here. I'd literally said to Matt as we were walking into the turnstile, it'd be interesting if we're level about 80 minutes here, because we couldn't go gung-ho against Man United and Everton according to Klopp. But we have to win this game. We have to go gung-ho, because otherwise it's City's type. It's basically done. It would have been
I think he made the right choice with picking and choosing the games where you can go gung-ho.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that one, because it's very easy for us to say that now.
Like if you had to handpick 2 games out of the 4, away to Everton, away to United, at home to Spurs, and at home to Chelsea, which 2 would you pick where, 80 minutes, you go gung-ho, you go for the win?
See, I think that's an unfair question, because I think in any general circumstance, if you just whittle off those teams, those 4 teams like that, then I completely understand. But then you take into account that Everton were pushing for a goal as well, and they've got Jordan Pickford in goal, and it wasn't great. Everton's probably the exception. I can kind of understand not losing that, because you lose the Derby hedge goal completely. I mean, drawing the Derby was bad enough, to be honest. But United United, that game is not like, it's not what it is on paper. Do you know what I mean?
No, because true. United, and they had those 3 injuries in the first half.
United are done by half time in terms of their changes. Liverpool, they're there for the taking. They're severely weakened. Liverpool could have gone at United that game. United offered nothing going forward except for that one chance from Lingard, which Alisson deals with anyway. Liverpool could quite comfortably have gone at gone with 10% more, and I don't think we'd lose that game, but we come closer to winning the game. And that aspect of it means I wanted to see us go for that game. That game would have meant more, and also winning away at Old Trafford is always a massive confidence thing as well. And also, as well, we've said it before, it's all well and good of saying United and Everton and taking those in isolation. Once you factor in Leicester and West Ham as well, you can't treat them in isolation. So whilst I understand what you mean, I do think Tottenham at home is the game to go for it. Yeah, but because I also think there's fragility in Tottenham as well. Like they weren't playing a recognised holding midfielder. That's probably why they go 3 at the back instead. But even then, you normally offer some shielding. So I suppose that's what Moussa Dembele would have done before he went to China. I suppose that's what you'd expect the likes of Victor Wanyama or Eric Dyer to do. Eric Dyer's not fit for this game, so. But it's. I guess the opportunity didn't really open itself up, but Liverpool had to force one.
Yeah,
and that's it, isn't it? Liverpool basically. This was make or break, and I think Jurgen Klopp knew that. And I think there would have been a point where it would have been like, listen, we're going to keep going for this, but we have to be realistic here, and we know the Champions League is going to be our best bet at silverware this season. I still think, for my money, it is. I still think at this point right now, bearing in mind we play either Barcelona or Man United in the semi-final, I still think our best chance of silverware will be the Champions League.
We said a couple of weeks ago, that is the easier thing to win at the minute for me, because you can afford to draw some of those games.
Yeah, exactly.
You can afford to draw them all.
You can draw. Well, yes, that is true. To be fair, you can win the Champions League by drawing 5 games from this point on, can't you? Really, exactly. I mean, obviously you've got to win a pen shootout at the end of that, but
we can afford maybe 1 draw max.
And even then, I don't think. I think one draw would then bank on a City loss and a draw as well, because City we'd be level on points. We'd be level on points, but City would have a better goal difference. That's true, isn't it? Yeah, without looking at the table. Yeah. But yeah, it just highlights how important that goal is, and how a bit of rub of the green isn't exactly a bad thing. And the one picture I keep seeing, which fucking reminds me that we deserve a rub of the green, is the Raheem Sterling being offside away at Man City in 2013.
That out of context Liverpool Twitter.
It's my favourite page.
It's got a lot to answer for.
It's my favourite page on Liverpool history at this point in time, because it just keeps posting really, really funny things that I've completely forgotten happened. But that I completely wiped that from my mind. That Sterling was so far onside. Like, I've thought about that moment before, but I thought like he was like level. He's fucking 4 yards onside. Yeah, fine, whatever. But yeah, seasons flip on moments, and we've had that conversation in the past. Moments like
this
that.
This could be a moment.
This could be a moment, and this could be a moment. Like the Daniel Sturridge goal was seen as a moment away at Chelsea, and like the Divock Origi moment was seen where we go and win the next 7 games after that in December. I think because it ended with City, didn't it? I mean, it's not 7 games this time; it's 6 in the league.
It's
obviously, it's 8 that we've got left at the bare minimum. Why not?
Yeah, it's doable.
So
it's very doable to win all those. I'm convinced we're winning the league. I can't not be convinced after that. After that winner, after that celebration, after Virgil van Dijk getting the ball and booting out of a fucking stadium.
What a fucking hero, by the way. We're an absolute fucking hero. That
after Cara going, "Salah, you little dancer."
Fucking hell, I don't know what's better, Carragher or your Scouse impersonation there. You've only lived here 7 years, it's fine.
That wasn't my Scouse impression, that was my Cara doing that impression.
Right. Ashley Young has just been sent off for Man United. So that result put Liverpool back on top of the Premier League.
Back on top.
Man City did briefly go back on top with a 2-0 win away at Fulham. Fulham rolled over, as you expect. Man City weren't exactly convincing, but they do get the win. Liverpool now sit on 79 points. 79 points was, I believe, the points total Man United got when they won the treble in 1998. 9?
Yes.
Yeah.
9.
So, in that glorious season, the best season in Man United's history, that was enough to win the league. Just goes to show, with 6 games left, Liverpool will have to win all their games realistically to win the Premier League this season.
Yeah.
So, dropped my plugs. So that puts us on. Is it how many points can we play for now? 18. So 97 points. It's 97 points, isn't it?
Yep.
So City can still get 98, which is just...
I think 95 wins it. I really do.
No, I don't. I think 96 wins it. Which means 97 has to win it.
I was going to say, we can't get 96.
Yeah, we can't get 96. But, 96 would still win it. If City will get... What the fuck's he doing?
The dog's just trying to climb me.
Oh, fucking hell.
He's like, "Are you done with a podcast yet? Come on,
90,
I want a stroke."
If you think 95 wins it, then what you're basically saying there, though, is either Liverpool catch Man City's goal difference, or Man City lose more than one game, drop points in more than one game.
Yeah.
I don't see Man City dropping points more than once this season, unless it comes away at Palace and
Burnley.
No, it's not Burnley. It's not Burnley. It's never Burnley. It might be United. It might be United.
It might be Spurs. They're playing 3 times in 11 days.
Spurs are 5th as the table currently stands, which is fucking madness. Arsenal are 3rd. Where the fuck's that come from?
But they've just been quietly winning games while no one's been paying attention to them.
It's actually... Well, it's interesting you should say that, because maybe we should start paying attention to this top 4 race, because it has a lot of... the implications of that top 4 race have a lot to do with where we finish in this league.
What we need is...
we need it to be competitive still when Spurs and City...
Yeah, we need it to be tight as fuck. Yeah. We need Spurs and United to need to win.
Yeah. Which is basically saying we need Arsenal and Chelsea to keep up the pressures. Which, I mean...
But then when Chelsea come to us, they're going to want to win. But yeah, they are shite, so we'll beat them.
Yeah. I think there's even an argument to say that if you think you separate those battles out, it'd be really nice if United could drop off and be like next to Chelsea, and then leave Arsenal and Tottenham to fight it out with each other to try and be above one another. Do you know what I mean? Because then Tottenham have to step it up a level, because that means a lot to them. To finishing above Arsenal.
They can't have a return of St. Totteringham's Day, can they?
Exactly. So I think we have to be watching that very closely. That battle for top four. We have a vested interest in, funnily enough, Manchester United doing well. And as I've said before, and I said as I left Anfield, I will be sitting there. Is it April 24th with glory, glory, Man United? Ollie's at the wheel, all kinds. Honest to God, 20 times Man United. All the classics will be coming out, because I will be a full-on fucking Man United fan for a day. If they beat Man City. I will never hate them more than if they lose the game. But it's one of them, isn't it? It'll be the first time ever that Liverpool fans and Man United fans could watch a game together, link arms, and both want Man United to lose, I guess. No, obviously we'd want Man United to win.
Yeah.
Well, you'd hope so anyway. They'd want Man United to win. But I will be fully fucking committed to the cause there. I don't even care. It'd be interesting to see all those people who were like, we can't ever want Man United to win. All those Liverpool fans on Twitter who were like, can't ever want Man United to do well. I fucking want Man United to do well. Like, it's Manchester City in this game. I'm not arsed.
Yeah.
And because of the
absolutely anything to help us get this over the line.
Mm-hmm. I don't care if they draw 1-1 and they literally hold on for dear life, and I will celebrate that like I celebrated Luis Garcia's goal in 2005 against Chelsea.
Look, if the Queen has to get involved, if I have to vote Tory for us to get this over the line, I'll do it. I don't care. I'll vote Tory with a United shirt on, and I'll sing "God Save the Queen."
I'll support England at the UEFA Nations League. I will sing 10 German bombers and all the bollocks. I'll vote leave in the next EU referendum if it means Liverpool win the fucking Premier League. If it means Liverpool win the Premier League this season, I don't give a flying fuck how the rest of the country goes. The rest of the country will want the fucking country to go into disrepair, because they'll want the world to end. Because everybody hates us, and it's fucking beautiful.
Oh, it is great.
I'm feeding off of it.
For me.
Anything else? Man of the match.
Oh yeah, we were talking about a match. It's got to be Verge.
It's Verge.
It's got to be Verge.
It's Verge.
Just for he's the best.
Yeah,
he's the best.
One thing I didn't mention, which I do want to mention now, Trent Alexander-Arnold. If you ever somehow end up listening to this episode, if I ever see you in a title race kick the ball out while an opposition player's down injured in the 4th minute of a game again, I swear to fucking God, I will happily watch you be sold. I don't care if you are the Scouser in our team. That is not Scouse. It's not Scouse to kick the ball out. You just fucking carry on playing and let the fucking miracle himself better. Do you know what I mean?
You know what else isn't Scouse? Like, allowing that to happen and allowing you to just talk my ear off about it for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I was fuming.
Come on, Trent. Don't do that again.
I mean, I think I can't believe he did it.
It was ridiculous. Was.
I bet you Jurgen Klopp was fuming. I bet you Jurgen Klopp was fucking furious.
Probably.
But there you go. So, Liverpool are back at the top of the Premier League. There are 6 games to go for us. There are 7 games left to go for Manchester City. I mean, I haven't got the bollocks for this. I don't think I haven't got the stomach for this. I haven't got anything for it. I'm not prepared for this. I wasn't ready for it to be this tight. I don't know what I was ready for, because it was always going to be this tight.
It was never going to be one on any other day than the last day.
Liverpool are on track with their current points per game to finish with the 4th highest points total of all time, and we might not win the league with that. But you know what? That's for the pessimists amongst us to say. What I'm going to sit here and say is Liverpool are going to win this Premier League, because Manchester City are going to slip up more times this season than Liverpool are in the remaining games. I don't give a flying fuck anymore. I'm not in this for any other reason now than Liverpool winning this fucking title, because we're fucking due it, aren't we? Let's be honest.
We are.
Yeah, so the other 19 clubs in the Premier League can hate us all they fucking want. At the end of the day, all that matters is that Liverpool keep winning games of football. Commiserations to Huddersfield fans. Sorry, Lexi, for getting relegated this season. It helps us probably because it means the game against you has absolutely no bearing on your season at all. We like that. But yeah, commiserations, never nice. I always had the soft spot for Huddersfield. One of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all about Liverpool winning the Premier League now, isn't it? Thank you very much for listening.
Up the title winning Reds.
If you could if you could like us on all the usual channels, the link is on our Twitter. If anyone of our new followers on Twitter likes this and likes this and it's their first time listening to it, if they could share it, that'd be fan-fucking-tastic. Because we could do with the publicity, because it's fucking rip-off, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? How much do you have to pay to get it advertised on Facebook and that?
It is
a joke. Yeah, so up the Reds. So next up, Southampton on the Friday night.
Yeah.
So next week we'll either be in pieces or we'll be more than likely over the fucking moon.
That one. That one. 100%. Warburton guarantee.
Up the Reds.
Yeah.